Instead of taking no for an answer, officers now obtain a search warrant to forcibly draw blood and get evidence for the case. The key word there, of course, forcibly. But the video you have got to see, Randy. It is. I think
everybody would agree that this is disturbing video, Russ.
Are you serious? I've never been raped by a rat. This is so unnecessary.
No! Excuse me, hold on. I never fought nobody. I didn't never do nothing. What the hell is y'all doing?
What they're doing at the Gwinnett County Jail is strapping down suspected drunk drivers to a gurney so a nurse can take their blood. Evidence that can be used against them later in court, even though the suspects refuse to give their consent.
What country is this? What country is this?
Of invasive procedure into somebody's body is ridiculous for investigating a misdemeanor.
Intrusive, certainly. Invasive, you bet. But legal? Yes, say authorities, even though the law supposedly gives you a choice.
We all are American citizens, and you guys got me strapped to a table like I'm in Guantanamo Bay.
At the Gwinnett County Jail, every forced blood draw begins with strapping down the suspect on a padded table and putting them in a head grasp. Every time, whether they're compliant or complaining.
We can't take the chance that you're not going to lose your emotional control during a situation that is so sensitive.
And it's not just male DUI suspects. This woman eventually pled no contest. Another is still waiting for her day in court. Both showed no resistance, but deputies still strapped them down.
Is there any concern that this just doesn't look good?
You know, I understand perception, but the reality of that perception is we work in an environment to where experience has shown us that you can play Russian roulette if you want to, but it's going to catch up to you.
Told me I'm arrested. They're taking my blood without my consent.
Michael Chaworski's only DUI arrest turned into the worst night of his life. He's yet to go to trial and says he's not guilty.
I'm not fighting you, dude. Don't push me too hard. I'm not fighting you.
And nobody should have to do that.
But a state law passed in 2006 allows police to ask a magistrate for a search warrant for blood in any DUI case. Since January, Gwinnett authorities have done forced blood draws more than 100 times.
You're being served with a search warrant for 2 vials of your blood, which you're going to take now.
In terms of forcing people down and holding them to, to stick a needle in their arm to get it, I think it's just an unreasonable search of those people.
Another showdown between personal liberty and public safety.
There's hardly anybody that you can talk to that doesn't know somebody that was killed by a drunk driver. We ought to do something about that, don't you think?
Even the most compliant suspect they fear might seize up somewhere during the removal of their blood. They just worry about them because, after all, the reason they're there is because they didn't cooperate in the first place.
It's matter, but we were all sitting there looking at that video, just taken aback by it all.
Test shall be given if you refuse, but then it comes back later and says that the police can still get a search warrant to draw your blood. So is it a conflict? Sounds like it could be.
Well, the Fourth Amendment protects us from unreasonable search and seizure. So I guess the question is, what's unreasonable? And honestly, I'm stunned. I did not know that this was legal. I did not know that they could take your blood without your consent.
They can take it without your consent as long as they have a search warrant. If they don't have a search warrant, the Supreme Court has said they can't. But these are all forced blood draws with the consent of a judge.
All right. Stunned to see it happening there right before our eyes. Thanks.
Are you serious? I've never been raped by a rat. This is so unnecessary. What